In today's video, we're going to continue on our NHL Prospect series where we cover all 31 NHL teams and do an in-depth analysis of their complete prospect pools, including their full summary of their 2018 NHL Draft selections. We have a special guest joining us today, and we're covering the Dallas Stars. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top here, today we're talking about the Dallas Stars prospect pool. And as I mentioned as well, we have a special guest joining us today. You've seen him on this channel before, you're likely familiar with him. His name is GRAVITEH. He has a Dallas Stars fan reaction YouTube channel, but he does cover other topics outside of the Dallas Stars. He does cover a lot of other NHL news and some other interesting content that you're likely going to want to check out if you haven't checked out his channel already. But then first and foremost, he's a Dallas Stars fan, which is the main reason why we invited him on today to discuss their prospects. We're going to keep the same format with this video that we've done with other prospect videos where we've had a special guest. We're going to be covering the top 6 prospects within the system, and we're going to take turns going back and forth. So I'm going to kick things off talking about the number 6 ranked prospect, and then I'm going to pass it over to GRAVITEH to take the number 5 prospect, and so on and so forth. So kicking things off here, let's get started here with the number 6 ranked prospect, and that's what we have as left winger Riley Tufte. He was a 2016 first round selection. He's a really big guy, 6'6", almost 220 pounds, playing for the University of Minnesota Duluth. He certainly has the attributes to be a big, strong power forward at the NHL level. During the 17-18 season, he put up 29 points in 42 games playing for the University of Minnesota Duluth. Had a pretty decent season. He's overall a pretty good skater. There's certainly room for improvement on his speed, but for a big guy, he does get around the ice relatively well. Sometimes that's a concern for guys his size, but so far, skating is not an issue for him, but he can work on getting a little bit faster. Riley Tufte possesses some pretty strong puck skills as well. He's also really good at their cycling game down low, obviously down in the corners along the boards. Obviously with a frame that big and to get that long reach, obviously that's something that he certainly excels at. Also going to the net is also something he's not afraid to do. He's not afraid to put that size to good use as well. So he certainly has the potential to be a future power forward at the NHL level. So we're likely looking at least 1, maybe 2 more seasons before he finishes his career at Minnesota Duluth and signs his pro contract and makes the jump to either the NHL or the American Hockey League.
Hello guys, my name is GRAVITEH, and on my channel I cover as many NHL topics as possible. Prospects, top 10s, jerseys. I cover as much as I humanly can. And of course, if you go in the description and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And of course, if you haven't done already, subscribe to Mike from Top Shelf Hockey. He definitely deserves it. Now, one of the more underrated guys in the Dallas Stars prospect pool is Jason Robertson, and he's been making a name for himself since he was drafted. He was drafted in the 2nd round, so not really a huge steal right now, but he's looking pretty good. He was drafted 39th overall in the 2017 draft, and he's a left winger for the Dallas Stars at age 19. In the OHL this past season, he played 68 games, had 41 goals, 46 assists for 87 points, and was the best guys on the OHL in the OHL league offensively throughout last year. He was really stunning and was fantastic. He got the call up to the AHL late in the season for the Dallas Stars for their Texas Stars for their playoff run, but didn't get to play that much. I don't think he even played a game, so it was pretty much just OHL for him, but he was certainly impressive. Offensively, he exploded like I think that he could have. I think that he was a great pick looking back on it, obviously, but he's making a name for himself now, and we could see him in the Dallas Stars system, or in the Dallas Stars team in a couple of years. I think that this next season will be crucial for him in the OHL. I feel like he'll have another year there, and can develop well. He's already been a solid player, and we've seen that this past season. He definitely has great talent, and I could see him being a very great middle 6 player for the Dallas Stars in their future.
Next up is the number 4 slot. We have Ty Dellandrea, who was the Dallas Stars 2018 first round selection. Now, GRAVITEH actually was in the house at the Dallas Stars arena during the draft. You get to witness this pick firsthand, which was, I'm sure, a pretty cool experience. But Dellandrea was a little bit of a surprise selection with what else was on the board for available players. I think the Dallas Stars did take a few people by surprise with this selection. He's been playing in the OHL for Flint, and obviously that team is kind of going through a rough time, kind of struggling a little bit. Otherwise, he would have had a little bit more fanfare, a little bit more attention, but he certainly is a pretty solid hockey player. Ty Dellandrea is a really smart hockey player, really high hockey sense, pretty good playmaker, hard-working as well, projects to likely be a number 2 to number 3 center iceman. I do suspect, though, he's likely going to stay in junior for the remainder of his career, probably 2 more seasons. Give him a chance to really develop, really have a chance to play a bigger role and dominate that league a little bit more. He should have a chance to play a bigger role for Team Canada at the World Junior Championships, which should be a great experience for him as well. But overall, I think Dellandrea does project to be a pretty decent NHL player, but we're a couple years away from seeing that happen.
Now, another solid guy in the Dallas Stars prospect pool is Jake Ottinger. And while, of course, he declined a little bit since his draft year, he's still very, very good. He was drafted 26th overall in the 2016 draft. This past season, NCAA with Boston University, he played 38 games, had a 2.45 goals against average with a .915 save percentage. In World Junior Championships, he didn't play all that great. 3 games played, 277 goals against average with an .889 save percentage. And with BU, with Boston University, it wasn't the greatest team around him, but he still had a pretty down year. In his draft year, it was much better. I think it was like a 930 in the NCAA. He was much better at that point, and of course, he declined a little bit this past season. I still think that he has starter potential, and I still think that he can be a very, very serviceable NHL goaltender, but I feel like this next season for him, bouncing back in the NCAA will be very, very crucial for him to get back on the road to development and to get on the road to the NHL back again. He certainly has that talent to get back, and he certainly has a talent for a first-round pick.
Next up, we're going to discuss the second-ranked prospect here on our list today, and that's left winger Roope Hintz. Now, Hintz was a 2015 second-round selection of the Dallas Stars out of Finland. He's a pretty good-sized left winger, 6'3", 205 pounds. He made the jump to the North American game this past season, coming over from Finland, played in the American Hockey League, put up 20 goals and 35 points. So overall, considering the transition to the pro level as well to North America, I think that's a pretty impressive first season. Hintz has the ability to be a great scorer as well. He's got a good, hard, accurate shot, but he's also a pretty terrific playmaker as well. During his first season at the American Hockey League level, he certainly showed his ability to score more, where he had the 20 goals, where he only had the 15 assists, but his playmaking abilities certainly are there, and I do suspect that to come out more during his second pro season here in 18 and 19. More than likely, Roope Hintz plays 1 more year at the American Hockey League level. Wouldn't be a complete shock to see him get a call-up opportunity with the Stars this season to get at least some action in, but I think possibly looking about 2 years ahead, I think we could possibly see him as a regular at the NHL level, but he certainly has the possibility here to be a nice prolific scorer. I can certainly see him being a second-line left winger for this organization here in the short term.
Now, when you're talking about Miro Heiskanen, he is one of the best defensive prospects in the game. Maybe there's a couple of guys like Makar or Dahlin that are ahead of him, but he's one of the best out there, and definitely the cream of the crop when you're talking about Dallas Stars prospects. He is amazing. In the league of this past season, he played 30 games at 11 goals, 12 assists for 23 points, and it was amazing. Of course, when you remember the Liga, you know that they're playing against older players. You know that it's a much less scoring league, and he was dominating there. He was one of the best guys there as a defenseman at age 18/19, and he was amazing, dominating the play against much older players, which was certainly impressive. He's already made a name for himself, even drafted 3rd overall. He's been improving on himself, and we could see him likely in the NHL next season. But of course, thanks to Mike from Top Shelf Hockey for allowing me to come on. It's greatly appreciated, and it's an honor for sure. Again, if you haven't, so go subscribe to him as well, and go subscribe to my channel, likely in the description down below. But again, thanks to Mike from Top Shelf Hockey. You're a beauty.
Thank our special guest, GRAVITEH, for coming on today. Obviously, like I said, he's been on the channel before. I'm sure you're familiar with him. His link is down below in the description. Go check out his channel, and if you haven't already, certainly subscribe for some great content. So now that we've completed all of our top 6 prospects, I want to jump over now and just do a quick summary here for all their 2018 NHL Draft selections. So now I'm going to put a graphic up here in the full screen so you can see the full summary of all their selections, and we'll go through them here one by one. Now, obviously, the first one on the list we've already discussed. That's Ty Dellandrea, a center iceman, taking number 13 overall from the OHL's Flint Firebirds. In the second round, they took a right winger out of Sweden, Albin Eriksson, number 44. Their third round selection, number 75 overall, they took another Swedish player, a center iceman, Oscar Back. In the fourth round, number 100th overall, they took a left winger from the Kitchener Rangers, Adam Masherin. Also in the fourth round, number 106 overall, they took another center from the Windsor Spitfires of the Ontario Hockey League, Curtis Douglas. In the fifth round, number 137 overall, they took another center from the Kitchener Rangers, Riley Damiani. In the sixth round, number 168 overall, they took a defenseman from WHL's Red Deer Rebels, Dawson Barteau. And last but not least, here in the seventh round, number 199 overall, they took a right winger from the Kamloops of the WHL, Jermaine Lowen. So as you can see here, the Stars had a lot of picks this year, and they put them to pretty good use. They got a good wide selection there between forwards at different positions, as well as some defensemen. They were pretty high on a lot of CHL players this year, as we can see, plus a couple Swedes as well. So overall, I think the Stars prospect pool is in pretty good shape here, and we should see a lot of these guys join the Stars organization at the NHL level in the very near future. Now, if you're new to the channel over here as well, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.